So Newport trolling motors have a reputation as one of the most affordable fishing kayak motors on the market. But what happens when your motor starts sounding so loud that none of your friends want to fish with you? Well, I'm going to walk you through my real warranty experience, the motor noise analysis, steering concerns, documented test, customer service responses, and full screenshot transparency. So smash that like button, drop a comment for the algorithm, and let's hop in. I bought my NK180 on November 24th, 2023. It was my first motor and I used it for about a season and a half and everything seemed fine until one day I was fishing with a guy I'd never fished with before. He turns to me and he says, "Hey man, do you hear that?" I'm like, "Hear what?" He's like, "It sounds like a warning siren. Like, are they releasing dam water?" Now, we weren't anywhere close to a dam and that's when it clicked. He was talking about my motor. Now, on another trip, my buddy said he can hear me from across the lake and instantly knew it was me because of how loud it was. So I thought, this motor didn't start out this loud. There has to be some type of manufacturer defect somewhere, right? So I also had another issue as well, and we'll get to that in a moment. So let me take you to Newport's warranty on their website. Now, these are the parts you should know. Now, Newport advertises a 2-year limited warranty on trolling motors like the NK180. Now, their policy is lengthy, so I'm going to cut to the parts that I think are most important. Number one, it says we guarantee each product is free from defects in material and workmanship. We may repair or at our discretion replace the necessary parts. So really what they're trying to say is you break something small in the motor, they are not going to be sending you an entire new motor. So far, pretty standard. And then I read some stuff that I believe is just weird to read in a warranty page. So I wanted to talk about why I think they are there. It says each warranty claim is handled on a case-by-case basis. Now, this seems common sense, right? How else would you handle a warranty claim? Now, you have to ask yourself, why would Newport put that in their warranty statement? Well, I believe I know why. I'm going to share it with you at the end. Now, something else that's interesting that I read in there is it talks about the product life cycle, right? It says every Newport product has a useful product life cycle. The length of that useful product's life really varies depending on the maintenance and care the product receives and the amount and type of use the product is subject to over its life. And sometimes, more importantly, how the product is stored when not in use. Now, why would you read this? Well, because in simple terms, it gives them legal and practical room to deny claims when a product fails because it is worn out, poorly cared for, or pushed beyond the intended use. However, as you read earlier, this is going to be at their discretion, right? Now, I'm not saying there's anything nefarious going on, just wanted to let you know that this is in their warranty. Now, there is something that I really had me head scratching, kind of buyer beware that I read. It said that each purchase is entitled to one warranty claim, one submission and approval. So once the claim is processed and approved, the purchase is no longer eligible for future warranty claims. That right there is the scariest line in the entire warranty process, to be honest. So what they're saying is that say you have an issue with the knuckle and you get that warranted, if your motor completely goes out a month later, the internals just completely die on you, well, you've already used your one. You can't do it again. You are SOL because you've already warranted the purchase once. So let that sink in a little bit. Another scenario, let's say the motor goes down, say it's electrical or something with the motherboard, and they warranty that motor. They send you a new one and the same thing happens, say because it's a common problem. Once again, you are SOL, my friend. Now, I'll ask you the question, if you are a company who stands behind your product, why would you have this in your warranty statement? There's only one real reason that I can think of is that you have a common problem that you know is happening and you don't want to continue fixing it. So you know who's going to end up paying for that? Well, you are. So as I'm reading through this warranty statement, what I'm realizing is that I really have zero leverage during this entire process. It is completely subjective. And also the big lesson here is when it comes to your one claim, use it wisely. Now let's talk about submitting the claim. Newport asks you for basically your entire life's documentation. Now I'm just kidding. They want to know your serial number. They want your receipt. They want any mods disclosure. They want your full setup analysis, your kayak motor, your battery, your accessories, a picture of the serial number, a picture of the motor, a picture of the effective area, a video of the problem, a picture of the battery setup. So there's a lot of things that they ask for. And so my motor had two problems. Number one, the steering and the knuckle assembly. The motor shaft had way too much play, and my Bonafide P127 would turn right just fine, but trying to turn to the left wouldn't do it, right? And I had it on a fixed mount. So something wasn't right. And so this is the video that I shared with Newport.
All right, wanted to show you how this is not sitting correctly in the knuckle. That is way too much play.
Problem number 2 is the noise level, right? It wasn't just loud, it was damn release siren loud. And so instead of just saying, hey Newport, this sounds kind of loud, I actually ran a decibel test with a wireless mic on the water, and this is that video.
All right, NK180 sound test.
Now the result is that it maxed out at 91.2 decibels. Now that's not quiet at all. And this is the email that I sent along with the warranty claim. Hello Newport, I'm submitting a warranty claim for my NK180 motor, which has developed several issues that have progressively worsened over time. The most concerning problem is the excessive noise level. The motor has grown significantly louder to the point that my fishing partners could hear it clearly from across the lake. On a recent trip, another angler even thought a nearby dam was releasing water because of the siren-like sound it was producing. Now I conducted a decibel test and the motor registered at 91.2 decibels, which is far beyond normal operating levels. In addition to the noise issue, there's excessive play in both the shaft and the knuckle assembly, and that looseness makes steering extremely difficult. I have to constantly overcorrect with my rudder just to maintain course, and turning left has become nearly impossible due to the instability. Now, given the severity of these issues and the fact that they have developed over time under normal use, I believe this clearly falls under the product's warranty coverage. Please advise on the next steps for repair or replacement. Thank you for your attention in this matter, blah, 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 blah. Now I hit submit on October 25th. It was a Saturday and I expected a week or two of silence, but surprisingly, they responded in less than 2 business days. And this is what they said. Dear Darren, we received your warranty claim. I'm sorry you're having this trouble with your NK180 motor. Before our warranty claims department can review your claim, we need some more information. Can you please take a short video running the motor while out of the water, both with and without the propeller, and changing speeds? You can send this to this email. Please let me know if you have any questions. So I was like, hey, I can do this, but I'm curious, what will this test tell you? They responded, it will help us determine what might be causing the sound, if it's internal to the motor or caused by something related to the propeller. For instance, it also allows us to hear it without the water sounds covering the noise and without resistance. So essentially it assists with diagnosing the problem, which will allow me to move forward with the next step. It's like, cool. So I sent them this video right here.
With the prop, 28%. 61%. Full throttle. Without the prop, 25, 45, 100.
Now, as you may have saw in that video, there's actually a mic because I wanted to do a decibel test out of the water as well. And although I didn't share that information with them at the time, it maxed out at 91.2, the same as the on the water test. And then on October 31st, the rep told me he was sending it to the review department, which confused me because I thought I was already talking to the review department. But nonetheless, I wait. 2 days, 3 days, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. And on the 10th day, they responded, and this is what they had to say. Now, this is an interesting response. They said, Dear Darren, I hope this message finds you well. I'm happy to inform you that your warranty claim for the NK180 motor drum and NK series motor mount was approved. Great. Your warranty order will be processed and shipped to you via blah, 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 blah numbers. Now, our review department has determined that the new drum and mount should resolve the issue with the steering and the loose motor shaft, but there was no issue detected with the noise of the motor. There is resonance that can be heard in the videos, particularly prior to reaching a higher speed, and often you can speed up past the noise and then slow down to your desired speed to get rid of that louder resonance. 25. 45. Additionally, it appears your depth is too shallow in the video of the motor running in the water, creating cavitation, and this will generate more noise. We recommend a depth of 10 to 12 inches from the center of the propeller to the water line. We do not require you to ship your current motor drum or mount back to us, and you may keep them or dispose of them as you see fit. If you have any additional questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. Now, as you can imagine, I definitely had questions and concerns. So of course I go out and measure from the water line, which is like my scum line, to the center propeller. All right, so here is my kayak. This is the water line. You can see the scum line, center of the propeller. So center, 12 inches. It's kind of hard to do this, but essentially I'm right at 12 inches. And so actually I'm a little bit, probably 13 inches to the water line. So center of the propeller to the water line, 13, 14, 12, 13, 14 inches. I'm right there. And I write them back. I said, thank you for processing the warranty claim. I must address your assessment regarding motor noise and cavitation, as it is incorrect and requires reevaluation. I tested the motor both in and out of the water using decibel measurements, and it maxes out at 91.2 decibels in both conditions. This clearly demonstrates that the noise is not caused by water depth or cavitation, making your cavitation deduction in your warranty assessment invalid. Additionally, I measured from the water line to the center of the propeller, and it is around 12 inches. Your visual estimate was incorrect. I also said, for context, other sounds in the 90 to 95 decibel range include a tractor, a power tool such as an electric drill, a shouted conversation, a food blender, a mixer, a subway train, and heavy traffic at close range. Sounds at this level are considered very loud, and prolonged exposure over 30 minutes at 90 decibels can cause permanent hearing damage. The motor noise in question falls squarely within this range, highlighting the seriousness of the issue. Now, given this data, I expect your team to revisit and revise your assessment. The noise issue is unrelated to water placement or resonance and should have not been used to reduce or limit warranty coverage. I look forward to your updated evaluation. And I heard back a couple days later. This is what they said. Thank you for the additional details. I had this reviewed further, and it was decided that as noise over video cannot tell us how loud it is, but only if it's unusual. We will err on the side of caution and bring your motor back to our R&D department to be evaluated, and we will replace your motor. And we go back and forth essentially to say, since it's an old NK180, we don't need you to send back the motor. We are just going to replace it with a new NK180 Pro. And also something to do when you warranty, if you've ever warranted something, they make you scratch the serial number. Well, on motors, they make you cut the motor controller line, which is what I did here. And that's when they released the new NK180 Pro, which is actually showing up tomorrow. Of course, I'm pleased with the action, as I wouldn't have gone through that laborious warranty process if I didn't feel like something was wrong with the motor. But some things to note. And now sure, they get a lot of claims on noise level. Likely the reason you can't find specs on the decibels for the NK180 or the NK180 Pro, other than the NK180 Pro is 25% quieter. Now the question is, quieter than what, right? A blender, a tractor? No, I'm kind of joking, but there's no baseline for their marketing that I could find than what is quieter than. 2, noise is a problem, right? If it's loud out of the water, imagine what's happening under the surface. Now that's the last thing you want when you're trying to sneak up on big bass. Sound behaves differently in water. It travels about 4 times faster and carries much farther than it does in the air, which is obviously not ideal when you're targeting big bass that already associate motor noise with getting their jaw jacked. Second thing, I'm a content creator. I review and test gear for a living. So in my email signature, it is clear that I'm a content creator. I have around 90 watch years of content consumed across all my window fishing platforms this past year alone. And I'm a podcast host, and it's not lost on me that that may have possibly been considered in my favorable results. And now I want to come full circle to what we read earlier in the warranty statement, which they say each warranty claim is handled on a case-by-case basis, which really gives them permission to treat each claim differently if they choose to do so, for whatever reason they choose to do so. So this is speculation, however, it may have been a factor. At the end of the day, I hope this was enlightening to you, right? Maybe you're thinking about warranting your Newport motor, but the real juice in these videos really comes what you read in the comment section. So if you have a warranty experience or experience in general with Newport vessels, please share your experience, both good and bad, in the comment section. It'll help everyone make a wise choice when it comes to where we spend our hard-earned cash as anglers. Now, here's some videos that the algorithm handpicked for you right there, right there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the comment section. You guys have a good one.